All right, here we go. All right, so I was not ready, but it's all right. Andy, ignore that part. Here we go.
Like the Borg have us.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We are broadcasting live, everybody. So, and roll. All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. Apparently, I can't speak while the video's playing, so we're gonna have to work that out.
Yeah, we were all muted.
Yeah, all of us. All right, no fear. Harmless Phosphorescence is here. Hello, everyone. This is Humble Genius Thoreau Smiley. Who's joining me this week?
Hi, I'm Josh Cece, and the ham was my most recent mistake.
Wait, guys. And Andy. This is so terrible. Let's I'm gonna start over, okay?
Let's do it. False start.
Because I wasn't rolling on our actual podcast recording. It's okay. It's okay. That's why we're doing a dry run.
Yeah, this is a test run. Test.
That's why we're using Underdog to do it. All right, here we go. Have no fear, Harmless Phosphorescence is here. Hello, everyone. This is Humble Genius Thoreau Smiley. Who's joining me this week?
I'm Josh Cece, and the ham was my most recent mistake.
I'm Brian Lesh, and there are no bad dogs, just bad dog owners.
It's true.
Considering all the things I probably lick, just call me Alaric Weber.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. This is the podcast and the live stream. I'll edit that out. This is the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, and then we tell you all about it. And this show is brought to you by our patrons. Patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You can be a patron too. Head over to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. And for $1 a month, you can watch our monthly movies. For $5 a month, you can watch everything we make, which is a lot of stuff. So head on over there and do it, guys. There's no reason not to. This week, everybody, we are watching for Harmless Phosphorescence, Underdog.
Woof.
Good boy.
His dog can sit, roll over, and speak.
Give the dog your food.
One super-powered accident.
I've never run this fast before.
One hero in training.
Oh no.
In need of a secret identity.
As long as I don't look ridiculous. Am I standing? I can't feel my legs.
Walt Disney Pictures presents.
I want his power.
Gross, your mouth was open.
Underdog.
What a rush.
Polly Purebred.
Where, oh where can my underdog be?
Did somebody order a hero? I really got to learn how to brake.
And Riff Raff.
All bark, no bite.
That's awkward.
This summer.
It's over, Bar Sinister. Oh yeah.
Man's best friend is crime's worst nightmare.
There is no need to fear. Underdog is here. You know, you never see dogs hurting each other for money.
You never see people sniffing each other's butts.
Touché.
Underdog, released August 3rd, 2007, with a running time of 82 minutes. It cost $25 million to make, took in $65 million at the box office, so it made its money, I guess.
Yeah, sure did. That's a low amount of money.
Yes.
2007?
Yeah, in 2007, that's not a lot, no matter how you cut it. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we'll get to this movie. But in the meantime, guys, are you ready to play the box office top 10 game?
Yep.
Woo.
Here we go. This is the game where I am going to have the guys guess where they think Underdog opened the week of August 3rd, 2007. Then they're going to try to guess what movie I am describing based only on Box Office Mojo description of that movie. I'll count down 10 to 1, all the movies in the top 10 of that week. This week, Brian, why don't you guess first? Where do
I'm
you
sorry,
think?
can we have the week of this movie release again?
Yeah.
August 3rd, 2007.
Can you use it in a sentence also?
Underdog was released August 3rd, 2007.
Sweet. I've got a better grasp on the movie now.
Thank you.
I'm going to say number 6.
Brian goes 6. All right, that's nice. Al.
4.
Al goes 4. Josh, what you thinking?
Well, I think that they're closer to it, but for the spirit of game shows, I'm going to go with number 1.
Ooh, Josh goes number 1. Betting it all on the dog. The Underdog.
I should have gone for the Showcase Showdown. Damn it.
You should have traded and gotten the one with the boat.
Exactly.
All right, here we go then. This is the box office top 10. Opening at number 10. This did open this week, number 10. During their first year of high school, 4 best girlfriends face off against the domineering student body president who wants to split them up into different social cliques.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
That was the only thing that came to my mind. So insulting. Yeah.
This is based on a known property, so it's not an all original movie, but it's it's the first movie of this property.
What?
100%, none of us are the demographic for this film.
Yeah, clearly not. The only we can ever think of is Traveling Pants.
It is the Bratz movie. BRATZ.
Those little toys, right?
Yeah.
With the
the
big
giant
head.
heads. Yeah.
Yeah, the injection molded. Was it animated?
No, it was live action.
Did they have big heads?
No. Well, I mean, relatively speaking, for a human, they might have.
Yeah, a distant cousin podcast of ours, How Did This Get Made, did Bratz, and it's a pretty funny episode. I'm trying to understand that.
Okay, were the Bratz dolls, were they owned by the same people that did the Cholo toys? Do you remember those?
The homies, you mean?
The homies, that's right, the homies.
Oh, I don't know. Weren't Bratz essentially just like pop figures, like except just tween girls?
Yeah, sort of like shitty Barbies, like bad attitude Barbies. I don't know. She has a colorful streak in her hair. She's a bad girl with a giant head.
That's what made me marry my wife. Honey, I'm sorry if you're listening.
She's watching the live.
She's like, I'm not.
That was number 10. Coming in at number 9. Also opening this week. Self-proclaimed stuntman is preparing for the jump of his life. Clear 15 buses to raise money for his abusive stepfather's life-saving heart operation.
Ian McShane is his father. Was it called Hot Rod or something? It was
the Andy Samberg movie.
The first foray into movies for him.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I mean,
funny.
Yeah, it had, but I mean, all the jokes that were funny were based on what an inept stuntman he is, So it's kind of like a new Super Dave, I guess, for younger types. For the
For
team.
everyone, for all those kids that wanted Super Dave but thought he was just out of touch with
He
today's
was just out of touch. Rest in peace, Bob Einstein.
I love that in the description he was a self-proclaimed stuntman.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't a professional.
Right.
He just decided he was.
But he would organize events around his town, like jumping over a above ground pool and shit like that.
Yeah. And then not opening this week at number 8, an ancient struggle between two races comes to Earth with a clue to the ultimate power held by a teenager.
Oh, I had a guess until a teenager showed up. Is this Alien vs. Predator?
No.
Oh, wow.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Predator? There's a teen.
Battlefield Earth was John Travolta the teenager.
John Travolta played in a teenager in 2007.
He played Haile Selassie with his dreadlocks.
Doing what he got most famous for, playing a teenager.
Yeah. Grease 3 starring John Travolta coming 2021.
He's just his character from Hairspray.
From Urban Cowboy.
Now he's the car now.
Yeah.
Now he's the car.
He's like, get in me and ride me into the sunset.
Mr. Carter.
Any guesses, Al?
No.
Oh, we're still on.
Transformers.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is right. A little LaBouffe.
Yeah.
LaBouffe when he was just a French Canadian.
Little LaBouffe and little Maggie Fox.
Yeah.
Number 6 or 7 coming in at number 7 this week. Slow Box Office Mojo at number 7. Let's try that again. It does this sometimes. All right, coming in at number 7 this week. The life of a top chef changes when she becomes the guardian of her young niece. This is Transformers 2. If you haven't
for some reason, Guardian struck us like, fairy tale or ancient.
Starring Aaron Eckhart and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I know this movie, but it's called like Simmer or like the restaurant
base.
Broth, the movie. I could kind of see through it.
I was surprised it didn't star Anthony Bourdain. It's called No Reservations.
Ooh. That's why I couldn't remember. My mind erased that.
Yeah. It's one of those movies. And oh wow, this is interesting that this comes out this week. Based on what we were just talking about. A pleasantly plump teenager teaches 1962 Baltimore a thing or two about integration after landing a spot on a local TV dance show.
Battlefield Earth, starring John Travolta. Hairspray, man.
Yeah, Hairspray. Josh. Oh wait, I forgot to give any points. Everybody has 5 points except for Josh, because he's the only one. He's the only one that's guessed anything right, so he loses his points.
Fair, that's fair.
It's like golf.
It is. Yeah. So that was. There we go. Coming in at number 5 this week. Oh boy. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to describe this one without giving it away. With their warnings about a great evil returning being scoffed at, our heroes are targeted by the authorities as a bureaucrat slowly seizes power of their school.
There's Harry Potter.
Which one? Any guesses?
I have no idea. The Dark something. Prince of the Dance.
Dude would 100% get this and then slap all of us for not.
2007. That was kind of later, right? So
yeah, it wasn't one of the earliest movies. It's kind of smack dab in the middle.
What's it called? Rise of the Phoenix or something?
Oh yeah, Order of the Phoenix. Very good, Josh.
You
you get your 5 points back for
Nice.
saying the word Phoenix.
So I'm back at 0.
Yeah, you're exactly. Coming in at number 4 this week. Oh boy. 2 straight single Brooklyn firefighters pretend to be a gay couple in order to receive domestic partner benefits.
I hate that this movie was made.
Uh-huh. It's an Adam Sandler joint, and not just Adam Sandler. We got us some Kevin James in there.
Oh, Kevin James. So do you think that Kevin James helped Adam Sandler like bury a hooker or something? Like why does Adam Sandler owe Kevin James so much?
Right?
He's the only person that can play the roles that Adam Sandler doesn't feel comfortable playing. He's like, yeah, it's just a little too fat for me.
Yeah, it's too fat for me. Like, are you sure, Adam? Yeah. It's like Chuck and Larry, right?
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Wow. We got a few more movies like this in the following years. It took a few more years for us to work these out of our system as a society.
Oh, with like the pretending to be gay thing?
Yeah,
right.
that and like the Man in the Dress movie and shit like that.
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, then there's also that element of sort of like Breaking Bad, where the premise doesn't make any sense in most other civilized countries, you know?
Only in America.
Oh, that single firefighter father needs insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole premise
Yeah.
doesn't make sense in most places. Yeah, anyway.
Thank you, Reagan. Coming in at number 3 this week, a beagle must use his newly bestowed superpowers to defend Capital City from mad scientist Simon Bar Sinister.
Frost Nixon.
Yes, the undeadening.
The undeadening.
Bud.
So number 3, Al, did you have 4 or was that Brian? Who had 4?
Al had 4.
Al had
I
4?
did have 4, that's right.
Al, you are the closest without going over.
Price is right.
So that means that
because I almost said 3 at the beginning, but I balked.
Oh, see, you never balk, Al. Never balk.
Yeah. It's just like driving. Don't hesitate.
Yes.
Go into the spin.
Yeah, in the words of Peter Frampton.
It's all in or nothing in. that's my lovemaking technique.
That's all.
Number 2, after a stupid man pollutes the town's water supply, that town is encased in a gigantic dome by the EPA, and the family becomes fugitives.
The Simpsons movie.
Yes, Al.
Wow.
Woo! Right off the bat, you're like Ken Jenkins. Is that the Jeopardy guy's name?
Jennings.
Ken Jennings. It. Yeah. Simpsons movie.
Yeah, based on the Stephen King Under the Dome novels that came out after
this.
Right? Yeah, which is hilarious.
I lucked out on that one because it was one of the previews on my Rise of the Silver Surfer DVD.
Oh my God.
I just assumed you watched it all the time.
I just assumed you're selling them.
Yeah, the DVD. Al's out on the street corner.
Got a little blanket set up
and a bunch of DVDs.
Do you have any other titles? No.
Just Rise of the Silver Surfer.
I got DVDs. I sell hot dogs.
One kind of each.
Yeah, the Simpsons movie. And then at number 1 this week, opening at number 1. A spy dodges a ruthless CIA official and his agents from a new assassination program while searching for the origins of his life as a trained killer.
Is it Casino Royale or was it the one after that?
It was not Casino Royale.
This is the Bourne Ultimatum?
Yes, Brian gets it. 1,700 points for Brian.
I'll take it. I'm going to invest it. I'm going to put that with my stimulus money and I'll pay a bill.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy some spray paint and head to Kentucky.
Go to Al's house and buy some DVDs.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. Then that's not that far off from Casino Royale. It's essentially the same kind of thing. Jeffrey, what's his name from
Jeffrey Wright?
Jeffrey Wright, yeah. He's a CIA agent that kind of double crosses him.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That is our box office top 10 game. Which brings us to Underdog. Underdog does not have a comics background, Al. So there's nothing for you to talk about unless you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the TV series.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'll get there. So, Underdog is an American animated television series that ran from October 3rd of 1964 to March 4th, 1967. So 3 seasons there. It looks like the first 2 seasons were on NBC and the final one was on CBS.
Cool.
The show was created by writer W. Watts Biggers and artist Joe Harris under the sponsorship of General Mills to sell breakfast cereals.
Yeah, they actually worked for an advertising agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they must have been on the ground floor of that as a marketing strategy. Like, let's just build a cartoon around the cereal rather than fitting the cereal in. Because that's been done many times since, as we know. Same with toys.
Oh, God, yeah. They're opening the same week as Underdog was a movie based on a cartoon that was built to sell things to children.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 of them in the same week, actually. That's crazy.
That's right. The Bourne Ultimatum and this.
3 Brats. There's a Bratz movie. A Transformers movie.
And The Simpsons, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, I own all the Matt Damon toys in every movie that he's ever
I
been
do. Yeah, the Goodwill Hunting one is fun.
Well, Matt Damon and Bratz really was at the peak of
Matt
Damon-ness.
Yeah. You thought he was going to be the teacher, but he was just one of the brats.
He's just one of the brats.
You know?
Like so many
I
before.
love the theme song he recorded. I'm just one of the brats.
Yeah, his best rap rock performance.
I'm introspective, Brat.
Produced by Fred Durst.
Yeah.
All right, now.
Underdog, the show. After it went off, after it stopped being produced in 1967, it would stay in syndication until 1973 for its first run, with supporting segments including Tennessee Tuxedo, Go-Go Gophers, and Klondike Cat.
I remember all those, especially Tennessee Tuxedo.
Yeah, the walrus.
Don Adams' voice. Yeah. What'd you believe?
What was the walrus's name? I forgot. Chumley?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Chumley was the name of a cartoon sidekick. Somebody's.
Anyway.
Yeah, it might be.
And the show was produced by Total Television and Leonardo Television, animated by Gamma Productions. The show was narrated by George S. Irving, and Underdog was voiced by Wally Cox.
George was the voice of Heat Miser in The Year Without a Santa Claus.
That is correct. Mm-hmm. Underdog is an anthropomorphic canine superhero who remains incognito as the humble and lovable Shoeshine Boy.
Mild-mannered.
Who was literally a Shoeshine Boy.
Were his manners mild, Josh? Were they?
I don't know. Let's jump on literally. All right.
Well, that was his job. He was a Shoeshine Boy.
You're right. He literally was. You're right.
Yeah.
When he hears the call of danger, usually from love interest Polly Purebred, a canine TV news reporter, Shoeshine Boy transforms.
Or Pure Heart? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I always thought it was Polly Pure Heart.
It was Purebred. Pure Heart was a different character that this was based off. That Polly Purebred was based off of.
I for one am glad that Polly's bloodlines are free of any sort of pollution.
Yeah.
So let's see. Shoeshine Boy transforms into Underdog in a phone booth, which would inexplicably explode. Transformation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
On occasion to... Oh, okay, wait. I'm sorry. Underdog always spoke in rhyme when he was in his Underdog persona. On occasion, to replenish his powers, he would take an Underdog Super Energy Pill, which he kept in a special ring.
Oh,
well, that's just meth.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Hitler used that same trick.
PCP. You lift a car.
When the show returned to syndication in the 80s and 90s, most scenes involving the super energy pill were edited out, or the word energy was changed to vitamin.
Oh, wow.
So it was meth.
Yeah, 100%. Nancy Reagan was like, nah, underdog.
Say no to underdog.
Underdog's powers were somewhat inconsistent from episode to episode, but included super strength, super speed, supersonic flight, physical invulnerability, X-ray vision, super breath, cosmic vision, atomic breath, atomizing eyes, heat vision, ultrasonic hearing, a supersonic high-pitch, high-five voice, and a calculating brain.
I was gonna say, what's missing from that roster, boys? Genius level intellect, but I guess he squeaked by.
Calculating
brain. And here's the dog whistle. Here's the dog whistle I prepared for that. Did everybody hear that? Okay. Underdog would appear in comic book form, notably in Charlton Comics from 1970 to 72, which mainly adapted stories from the cartoon, and Gold Key Comics from 1975 to 79, which featured original stories. I believe I didn't dig too deep into this, but it sounded like there was an ongoing Underdog series that started in like 2017, might still be going.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Check it out for yourselves.
Is it live action or
not a cartoon? Comic book.
A comic. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure. All right, a little tidbit I had found out is for a while Lorne Michaels owned the rights to Underdog.
Yeah,
interesting.
That explains all the Underdog sketches from the late 90s on Saturday Night Live.
So we got Simon Bar Sinister. He's a mad scientist, the wickedest man in the world. It is Simon's ambition to rule the world, being a mad scientist and also wicked. Simon is accompanied by his henchman, Cad Lackey, who is generally dull-witted, but occasionally capable of pointing out flaws in his boss's plans. And we also had in this movie, we had Riff Raff, who in the cartoon was an anthropomorphic wolf gangster.
Yeah, I always liked that character.
Yeah, and in this movie was a comedic 3-beat.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, so.
And that's all I got. If anyone else has anything more to throw in there.
No, I think that's way more in depth than I had. Also, awesome. Thank you very much. That brings us to the movie itself. Released August 3rd, 2007. This movie was directed by Frederick Duchow, who mostly did animated stuff. The first movie he did was The Smoggies. I don't know if you guys remember that or the show. It was, or did it? Yeah. He was an animator on Tailspin, Tom and Jerry the movie, The Land Before Time 3. He directed Quest for Camelot, wrote and directed Quest for Camelot and Racing Stripes. Remember the zebra movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He had one movie after Underdog. It was called The Crostons, and there is no Wikipedia entry for it. So
Crostons.
I think Underdog. Yeah, I think Underdog might have killed his career.
Well, it went on to make a career, lots of careers. There are a lot of people in this that were just on their verge of very successful.
Sam Bean.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a couple of other.
Amy Adams, John Slattery.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Peter Dinklage himself.
Peter Dinklage just, a few years away from total Dinklages.
Dinklage factor of 5.
And we'll see him again.
Yep.
Writing credits on this include Adam Rifkin, who we recently saw as a writer on Zoom, Academy for Super Kids or some, I can't remember. We've got credits for Joe Piscatella. Let's see.
He's a good guy from the neighborhood.
Yeah, right. He's
Say hi to
mostly,
your mom for me.
this is his only documentary credit. So I don't know how he ended up writing Underdog.
After writing all those documentaries.
Right. Yeah. Hashtag Chicago Girl, Joshua Teen something. Yeah.
Teen Idol.
Then we've got Craig A. Williams with the writing credit on here. Craig A. Williams. Let's see. Has writing credits on some sitcoms. Stark Raving Mad, that one with Doogie Howser and Monk.
Weird. I didn't.
Yeah.
Shalhoub, Tony Shalhoub.
Shalhoub and what's his face from Doogie Howser and How I Met Your Mother.
Neil Patrick.
Neil Harris. Yeah.
How I Met Tony Shalhoub.
He also had a writing credit. Do you guys remember the cartoon Pandemonium from the 80s?
I think so.
Yeah. And Ozzy and Drix, the cartoon of what was that terrible movie where we were inside Bill Murray's body and it was half animated?
Oh.
What was that called?
Osmosis Jones?
Osmosis Jones. Yeah. That was it.
Was the main character. Yeah.
Yeah. Ozzy and Drix was the animated show of that.
Far out.
Yeah. So let's see.
It's a movie about cereal. I'm not stressing about it at all. It's just
right.
This is this the lowest bar for a movie being made out of all the things that we've done, besides maybe like Toxie?
Well, I mean, yeah. It's I mean, this one isn't
3 seasons of a children's cartoon made to sell cereal. I can't think of anything that's as shallow of a premise.
Oh God, like so shallow. Yeah. Yeah. God, this thing is, and it felt like it too. It was awful.
Well, the stakes were essentially, oh no, that's right. He was going to disperse that DNA gas. Never mind, we'll get there.
But, I guess it took me 2 viewings to realize he was going to do anything other than blow up the top of a building. So in our cast, Peter Dinklage stars as Dr. Simon Van Sinister. Bar Sinister. Bar Sinister.
That was a villain name I always remembered growing up. I always thought it was sort of lyrical. Simon Bar Sinister.
A note on that name, Bar Sinister is a bend sinister, more appropriately, is, and sometimes called a bar sinister. It's that diagonal stripe on like a crest, like of royalty, and it's sometimes used to indicate that the bearer of this diagonal stripe was born a bastard.
Oh, not left hand.
Interesting. There's so many layers to Underdog.
That's a really cool though.
Interesting. So played by Peter Dinklage. His first movie role was Living in Oblivion.
Steve Buscemi's in that.
Steve Buscemi. That was a good movie. About them trying to make a movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was fantastic casting. He was fantastic. I've heard him say before that he obviously steers away from roles that are accentuating his height. But yeah, perfect. He really looks like the cartoon character. It was he was probably the most satisfying or payoff.
And he brought his chops.
He sure did.
Him and Patrick Warburton were just fabulous.
They were the best part of this whole movie by far.
Everyone else was painful. So Living in Oblivion. Then he was in a number of things. He refused to take any elf or leprechaun roles. He was in The Station Agent. That was his big breakout. As a role was actually written for him. And then, have you guys seen Tiptoes with Matthew McConaughey and Gary Oldman and Peter Dinklage?
No.
No.
Watch the trailer as soon as you can.
All right.
After we're done with this. It's about Matthew McConaughey's dating a woman and he doesn't want to tell her right away that his entire family are dwarfs.
Whoa.
And then she finds out, and Gary Oldman plays a dwarf.
No, he does. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
I've seen this.
Yeah. Gary Oldman plays a dwarf, and he's like so weird looking. It is crazy.
Sort of like a Wayans Brothers picture, like Little Man.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's
When
bad.
was this made?
But it wasn't. It's a serious movie. 2003 was Tiptoes.
Oh,
It's a serious movie. It's not played broadly for laughs. It's a drama.
Right.
That's interesting. This is before Matthew McConaughey was doing dramas, so this is gotta be
Before
weird.
he was a dwarf. He was in two of the funniest movies I think that have ever been made. He was in the British and American versions of Death at a Funeral.
Mm.
Just fantastic. Both.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So
and season 8 of Game of Thrones, which was hilarious.
yeah, sure.
What a riot.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course Tyrion Lannister is his big signature role. Patrick Warburton.
We saw him in X-Men.
That's right. No, we will see him.
We will. That's right. He's not an X-Men yet, but he's going to be.
He will be an X-Men. He was an X-Men, but for our purposes, he will have been an X-Men at some point in the future.
Time is a flat circle.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Patrick Warburton. We heard his voice in Zoom. And of course, Putty on Seinfeld. Kronk in The Emperor's New Groove. He's in a billion things. He's Patrick Warburton. You know who he is. He was the Tick.
The Tick. Yeah.
In a couple different times, right?
Yeah.
Like when they recently redid it, didn't he?
Yeah. He was on the recent.
Yeah.
He was on the recent version of it too. Yeah.
But he wasn't.
He wasn't the Tick in the recent version.
No.
Oh,
No.
someone else was the Tick, but he was in it though.
I don't remember seeing him. He was an executive producer. I don't recall seeing him at all in
Far Out.
The Flesh.
I forget the actor's name. British
He
actor.
was in both.
The Tick.
British actor Peter something. He was the roommate in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that guy. Okay. The guy that plays Arthur on the new one. Griffin Dunn, I think is his name. Him and he does a movie podcast kind of similar to what we do.
Griffin Dunn is much older.
Peter Sarawickiniewicz. The guy who played the Tick.
Good. But yeah, you should check out his podcast too, because it's a fun one. So we've got Jim Belushi as Dan Unger. Jim Belushi. Okay.
Yeah.
Prepare for this wild ride. So, famously, the brother of John Belushi. He was on SNL himself from 83 to 85. He's, his film career is indeed a series of movies that were made. Let's see, Real Men, Red Heat, The Principal. Oh God, Red Heat. Remember when they were trying to pretend like he was actually a movie star?
An action star, even. Yeah. He was a spy.
K9.
There you go, K9. So, I wonder if it was a joke or if anybody thought about it. But yeah, it's like a cop dog buddy movie.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, Jingle All the Way, Curly Sue. He was, early 90s. He did more stuff. Blues Brothers, 2000. But what is super interesting to me is he was famously a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a right-wing guy. Apparently, sometime around the Underdog era, he reversed course, endorsed Obama, and now owns a pot farm in Oregon.
Wow.
Yep.
So good for him. Yeah. I don't mind Jim Belushi. I mean, he's totally a joke, like we were saying, but he's not hard to watch. I guess it's the same as Tim Allen. Like I would never list these guys as my favorite actors, but they're not bad. They're not bad to watch.
I would now like to tell you guys about my single favorite Jim Belushi fact. In 2004, Jim Belushi filed a $4 million lawsuit against his neighbor, Julie Newmar.
What? The captain?
Alleging she destroyed his fence.
Oh.
Julie Newmar.
That's wild. I remember that.
Fence.
I remember way back in the Osbournes, and like they were having a fight with Pat Boone or whatever, and they threw a ham over the wall, and it just made you like stop and think, like, yeah, that's right. Beverly Hills is pretty small and super expensive to live in. So yeah, his neighbor's Julie Newmar.
she broke his fence, and he's like, Newmar.
Yeah.
How many millions of dollars did he sue for this fence?
$4 million, and she countersued him, saying that he was trying to build an addition to his house, which was illegal.
She's like, it wasn't perfect.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Oh yeah. God.
Yeah, imagine being a judge in Beverly Hills.
I mean, like, there's some bullshit going on here all the time.
Oh man, you'd have greasy fucking palms for sure. $4 million over a fence. I'd be like, look,
I'm sure that's all it is.
Just give me $4 million and we'll fix the fence.
Instead of how do you plead, it's how do you bid?
Yeah,
exactly. Let's see. We got Alex Newberger as Jack. He was in Running Scared in 2006, Hello Herman in 2012, and Underdog. That's about it.
So I know why the practical filmmaking reasons are, but there didn't need to be this teenage character whatsoever. I was surprised that there was one when he was introduced, because I thought it was going to be Jim and the dog.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go through all those stages that the teenager did, learning his powers, hearing him strange. Totally unnecessary character.
Well, I mean, they 100% were aiming this towards a younger crowd. I mean, it's a Disney film. They were aiming it at Disney Queen.
You can pay them cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm sure if Jim's paying $4 million for a fence.
Taylor Momsen as Molly. She was Cindy Lou Who in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. She played Jenna Humphrey on Gossip Girl. And then she went on to front the rock band The Pretty Reckless, which they're fine. I actually did a episode of A Personal History of Sound with voice actor J.B. Hampton Van Sant on the Pretty Reckless album. I can't remember which one album it was, but yeah, they're all right. She's basically been a musician since Gossip Girl went off the air.
Well, and folks at home, fine is the highest endorsement Thoreau will give.
It truly is.
So it's good. Take it from me.
John Slattery as the mayor. John Slattery, wow. Like a dude that really came into his fame late in life.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was once he got that look, but I'm sure he was a handsome young man. But
but the Silver Fox thing really worked for him.
Oh, yeah.
John Slattery, he got his start. He was on TV in the 80s on the Dirty Dozen series. He did a lot of guest spots, Father Dowling Mysteries, China Beach, Ned and Stacy in the 90s, Party of Five, Becker, Law and Order, Will and Grace, lots of guest spots on TV. His first film role was in 96 in something called City Hall. He was in the Schwarzenegger movie Eraser in 96. A bunch of B movies no one heard of. Then in 2000, he was in Traffic, starting to come up a little as a character actor. He was also in The Station Agent with Dinklage.
That's far out.
Yeah. Mona Lisa Smile. After this, he was in Charlie Wilson's War. And of course, his big break was Mad Men, which he played Sterling. What was it?
Cooper? Sterling?
Yeah, Sterling Cooper.
McMahon and Tate, whatever.
Yeah. And we will, of course, see him quite a few times on this show coming up. He plays Howard Stark in the MCU.
brilliantly. I mean, I can't compare it to another portrayal, but that's totally Tony Stark's dad.
Smug.
That is 100% the Tony Stark from
Humor
the
under
MCU's
everything.
dad.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Samantha Bee as principal. She didn't get a name.
She got one scene.
And only one scene, right?
She got one scene. Samantha Bee, this is amazing. And I had no idea. At the age of 20, she started out in sketch comedy in Toronto. Mm-hmm. And then at the age of 26, she toured with a stage production of Sailor Moon, in which she played Sailor Moon.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
No.
Oh, I need to Google that. That's incredible.
And her husband, Jason Jones,
from the
was an understudy on the Sailor Moon stage production.
What?
Was he her son understudy?
That's how they got to the Daily Show? By way of Sailor Moon?
Or that's how they met. What a weird, like 30 years later, because they're still married, but it wasn't 30 years. But you know what I'm saying? So many years later, like, ooh, how'd you guys meet? Tell us the story. Well, do you remember that anime show from the 90s called? Yeah, strange. How I Met Your Mother.
A Sailor Moon, a Canadian live touring production of Sailor Moon.
Canadian, that's right.
Then of course she and Jason Jones went on to be correspondents on the Daily Show for 11 years. She now has her own show, which is Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. She's great. I like her.
Yeah, she's very funny.
Frank Ridley as the police sergeant. In his 30 fabulous seconds of screen time.
But didn't it seem like we were supposed to recognize him as, like an older, do you know what I mean? I was Who is that guy? Who is that guy? And I looked up, he's no guy. He's just a guy.
Yeah. He's been in a bunch of stuff as the seventh build character actor.
Oh, I'm sure you could stick him in anywhere, yeah.
Yeah. Birdman inside Llewyn Davis.
I like both of those.
The Box, Next Stop Wonderland. But yeah, he's just that guy. We had a Jay Leno cameo. And as for our voice cast, we have Jason Lee doing his best. My name is Earl.
Well, I was going to say, he was probably the most successful person on that set at that time.
I don't think he ever showed up on set. I think he did this entire movie over the phone. Like they were like
Diesel style.
Yeah, we're gonna need another hour of you today. It's like, all right, give me a few
I'm pretty
minutes.
sure he just did this in between his My Name is Earl
seasons.
Because he did all those My Name is Earl voiceovers.
Yeah,
and it's exactly the same.
Yeah, there's no affect or anything. Yeah, I was so disappointed to hear him phone this in as poorly as it was done.
Oh, so phoned in.
I like him.
Yeah, I generally like him.
He was a skater.
I mean, he's these days
a skateboarder.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He started out as a skateboarder. His big movie break was Mallrats. Although he was an extra in Mi Vida Loca in '93. Yeah, Mallrats.
He was the widow.
What was that? Almost Famous? Wasn't he in the band?
Yeah. Oh, he was great in Almost Famous. That was the best. That was his best role. Period. I think.
Right.
I still see him as the demon in Dogma.
That was pretty good.
Demon.
As really,
Vanilla Sky. Pretty much, if Kevin Smith or Cameron Crowe's going to make a movie, Jason Lee's going to get some work that year.
Mm-hmm.
And he played. He was Syndrome in The Incredibles.
Oh yeah,
he sure was. Yeah, he has a good voice. I mean, it's not like Alec Baldwin good, but it's good.
He can play that kind of guy. Yeah,
Alec Baldwin.
Or he can narrate.
A great underdog.
Oh yeah,
I can listen to that dude read the phone book. So yeah,
for real.
Amy Adams played Polly Purebred.
Yeah, and who else is she famously now? Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Polly Pureheart is Lois Lane.
Oh my god, I totally forgot that. Oh my god.
Yeah, because she's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, so she got her start. She did a lot of TV work in the late 90s. She was on an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Tara's cousin. She was in
Drop Dead Gorgeous, which is like
Yeah.
a low-key masterpiece.
That's a
If you
good
haven't
movie.
seen it,
Is that
yeah.
that's the one with not Kate Nally, with
Kirstie Alley, yeah.
Kirstie Alley, yes.
Yeah, about regional teen beauty pageants up in the Great Lakes
Hey, I
area.
finally looked it up.
Yeah.
Polly Pureheart was the love interest in Dudley Do Right.
Dudley Do Right. Okay, I thought so.
Okay, and this was probably purebred.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, it's funny because I always thought Underdog was a part of those Jay Ward cartoons. Ward who did Rock and Bullwinkle and Dudley Do Right.
It's got that same animation style for sure.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah, Amy Adams, of course, she was in Catch Me If You Can, The Muppets. Her big break was Enchanted, which came out the same year as this.
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah. And then, of course, she'll be Lois Lane in Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman and Justice League.
Didn't she win an Academy Award or no?
I don't know.
Was she nominated?
Was that for what was the Alien movie with Hawkeye?
I think
Arrival. I think she may have won.
Arrival, yeah.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Brad Garrett did Riff Raff. He was, of course, my Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, so good. So he was also doing well at this time. So he was a get, just like Jason Lee. In fact, he was in the trailer, which I was surprised to see.
Yeah, that's why he was in the trailer, because John DiMaggio was Bulldog, as best known as Bender, but he's the man of
many voices.
Many voices, yeah. Then Phil Morris as Mame. Phil Morris was Jackie Childs on Seinfeld. So we got Huddy and Jackie Childs. Al, did you want to say anything about him? Because he does a lot of stuff, which you usually tell us about.
Oh,
I can do it if you don't. I've got it up. So, well, he was in The Search for Spock, Jingle All the Way, but he's also, he played Green Arrow and Hawkman in Lego DC Comics Superheroes. He played Vandal Savage in Justice League Doom. In Justice League New Frontier, he was King Faraday. In Teen Titans Go, he played an announcer. Superman Red Sun, he played James Olsen.
James
Olsen.
I've got a 401k now.
And let's see. He also, there was like a bunch more. Green Lantern, the series, he was Saint Walker. He played Max Fury in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Max Fury. That's a great.
Yeah.
Max Power. Oh, I love your name. Thanks. I got it from a hairdryer.
And he's currently playing Silas Stone on Doom Patrol.
Oh.
Michael Massey as Kill. We saw him last in The Crow. He played Fun Boy.
Oh, Fun Boy.
Wait, yeah.
So these are the German Shepherds, the momentarily evil.
The German Shepherds and the bully dogs that are just walking around the streets.
Oh, the Pug Chihuahua mix.
Yeah. Michael Massey we'll also see again in The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Michael Massey is the one who was wielding the gun, which caused Brandon Lee's death.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's the top thing on his Wikipedia entry. It's like, that sucks.
That sucks.
Because it wasn't his fault.
Not in the least. No, there are people that have a job specifically for that. It wasn't him.
Exactly. Cam Clark was also one of the dogs, and he mostly just does a lot of voice work. He was Leonardo in Rocksteady. He did a lot of voices on the original '89 Akira dub. He does some voices on Metal Gear. Oh, he's Liquid Snake. Okay.
Is that anything like a pocket snake?
Yes. And of course, Jess Harnell as the astronaut when he went up into space.
Oh, yeah. The guy said the guy who screwed up the best pun opportunity in the entire movie. What should he have said? What
The beagle has landed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a beagle. Makes no sense.
Jess Harnell is the voice of Wacko Warner and Crash Bandicoot.
Huh.
Oh, he's a wacko. He's a wild. You should look up this guy. He's like a metal fan from the 80s, but still like giant curly.
I was gonna say he looks like a kind of more rock and Weird Al.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Totally.
Let's see. Rotten Tomatoes gives this movie 16%. And let's see. Hank Sartens writes, quote, not available. Sorry, I made myself chuckle. Jim Rocarles of BBC.com writes that just over 80 minutes, it feels not so much like a proper film as a piece of extended filler for slow afternoons on Disney's TV channels.
Even British critics
Yes.
write the same way.
Let's see. Rodrigo writes, decent.
Thanks, Rod.
I love that.
That's Rodrigo.
And all he said was decent.
He's a super reviewer.
A lot of these places, you got to make a profile.
Yeah.
Just to say
One word review.
The Underdog movie.
Decent.
I disagree. I'm going to write a formal letter to Rodrigo about this.
Rodrigo.
Dear Rodrigo.
You're wrong.
It has been 12 days now since I have brought to your attention the matter of which I speak.
Rodrigo, what's it like in 2012 where you're living when you wrote this?
Have you seen a movie before this?
He regained his sight. This was the first one. He's like, decent.
It's incredible.
Did you know dogs can talk now?
Man.
Oh,
so that's it, guys. You ready to get into the movie?
Woof.
Yep.
Here we go. This is Underdog. We open with voiceover from Underdog explaining the concept of the 60s cartoon.
Yeah.
It's weird that it was kind of meta and the cartoon was there. And yeah, I don't know.
Right.
There's a brief credit sequence, and then we cut to Capital City. 4th Street and K.
That happy tall city.
Yeah.
I can't believe it didn't start with a scene of his parents being shot and killed.
Yeah. In the opera.
Yeah. Or him arriving in a meteor or something.
Thomas and Martha Underdog.
There's some sort of press thing about crime, and the mayor's there, and there's a bunch of dogs and
a bunch of file boxes.
Yeah, I don't even know what that was about.
Was there unmet quota? It was like uninvestigated crimes,
something like that.
And they're like proud of it.
Usually, when cops display something like that, it's what's been recovered in a bust or something. So yeah. I don't know. He's like, these are files we did go through.
So the number one thing about this movie is clearly there's like 3 or 4 subplots that were going on that were 95% cut out of the movie.
Yeah,
and the 5% that was left in just makes this whole thing confusing as fuck.
Yeah. Well, and corruption is rampant in Capital City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yet the mayor seems like a stand-up guy.
Yeah. The mayor's just an idiot, I guess.
Yeah, he gave commendations to Jim Belushi. He likes the dogs. He's not up to anything unless, like Thoreau said, there was something going on with the mayor. It may not have been nefarious, but there was a story there that probably explains the file boxes.
Well, just thinking about the file boxes now, I'm feeling like the mayor was investigating unsolved crimes, because then later on, Jim Belushi mentions that there's a bunch of unsolved crimes that the chief has. I'm like trying to put 2 and 2 together, but this is Underdog.
Well, and the mayor is unaware of Jim Belushi's character existing until that moment where he's like, "You're the chief now, I guess. You're in charge."
His son mentions that he was given accommodations, but not is that the word? Anyways, twice by the mayor.
Okay. Yeah.
For bravery in the line of duty kind of thing.
But he runs up and introduces himself to the mayor like, "Mr. Mayor, I know exactly what's going on. I was a cop." And
Right. And then, like Brian says, it has that, like, if there was a sub story or if they'd paid attention to it, because then the mayor, says you're promoted, you're back reinstated,
Yeah.
But you're right. He did say his name when he ran up.
There's a lot of stuff going on here that makes no sense unless there's 45 minutes sitting on the cutting room floor somewhere.
Oh, leave it there. I'm grateful that this movie was not a moment longer.
I am totally cool with it only being 82 minutes. It could have been 72 minutes as far as I'm concerned.
This could have been a 30-minute children's cartoon.
Yep, take the kid out.
This should have been a season of the Underdog show.
30 minutes with commercials, 21 streaming.
Yeah.